as I think everyone knows, we have a terrific partnership with the Seattle Mariners and San Diego Padres in the city of Peoria. We're beginning our 21st year of that partnership, and at the end of this last year, we started a new 20-year agreement with both teams. The city earnestly negotiated a new agreement with the Mariners and Padres, and it was one of those negotiating sessions that was really very positive all the way around. The city really likes the partnership with both baseball teams, and fortunately, both baseball teams like the partnership with the city of Peoria. So we began our negotiation process from the perspective that we wanted to make the deal work for another 20 years into the future. So we're all very, very happy to have this long-term partnership continuing. A key part of that partnership was rebuilding both of the clubhouses for both teams. They each have their own clubhouse. We're standing in front of the Mariners clubhouse, of course, and the Padres clubhouse is on the other side of the complex. Each of the teams had their priorities and ideas and components that they wanted to build into each of their clubhouses, and it was a challenging undertaking. We had to get it built after spring training ended last year and before spring training begins here later on this week. And it's a real tribute to the strength of our partnership that we could make agreements quickly and move the project forward, and also a real tribute to our staff that worked on it. Andy Granger, our engineering director, who you'll hear from in a few minutes, Chris Calcaterra, who oversees the operations here, and his staff, who did a fantastic job, and Ed Striffler, who is the project manager in our engineering department, who probably had a few anxious moments in terms of putting it together, as these things are a little stressful. And of course, our prime contractor, the Mortensen Company, did a great job as well with all of their subs and the complexity of these kinds of operations. So we're excited. It's just about time for baseball again in Peoria, and the teams are going to have two great new clubhouses, and I know you'll get to see them in a minute.
As you can imagine, I'm not a big construction guy. I take care of baseball fields and baseball teams. But I can tell you one thing, this was a collaborative effort from all parties. Working with one baseball team or one organization of the size of a baseball team is in itself hard. Working with two is even harder. And Carl mentioned some of the names previously, but this was collectively a team effort. We had the city, all departments across the city, specifically engineering, and Ed, you're a key player in this, along with his staff. Also, all of our jurisdictional pieces that did a lot of review of plans. But this process started 2.5 years ago. As we finished up the construction or the new term contract leases with the teams, we went straight into a pre-con engineering mode with both teams. And that took almost 1.5 years for those teams and the city's team to get together and come up with what basically the next 20 years of baseball development means. I've been fortunate enough to be here 16 years, and it's changed a lot in 16 years. In 1993, when the city brought in the first two-team facility in the Cactus League, in baseball, to the Cactus League, it was our complex today. And now we're actually posed for another 20 years of these facilities that you're about to see, anywhere between 56 to 60,000 square feet of new development training spaces for the next generation of baseball. And we did that with a collaborative effort. I mentioned the city. What I can't forget is the Diamond Club. They're a huge part of what helps us keep the teams here and keep them training year-round. They offer all the services that part of the next stadium projects, which will occur in the next phase coming up next year, that we're all working as well moving forward with. And you can't really say we had 8 months to do this project. Everybody sat around the table and shook their head that we could not do this. And you're about to hear from a gentleman that made it happen. And not only is it a great resume builder, but and I'm very, very happy to say that Mortensen Construction did a fantastic job getting us to where we are today. And obviously we're going to go through this spring training as our next 21 years of spring training start off in Peoria. I'm very proud of everybody's efforts and the city's commitment, from our electeds to our citizens, to support the economic impact that not only that these two teams have, but the Cactus League as a whole in the state of Arizona. Thank you.
I'm really excited about these two clubhouses. If you didn't know, if you hadn't been through the existing clubhouses, they were both outdated. They were both built about 20 years ago and really didn't serve the needs of the present teams. Spring training has grown in the valley significantly over the past 20 years. And what you'll see today marks what is the state-of-the-art clubhouses for the future. Both clubhouses have been designed to meet LEED certification. We're hoping we potentially maybe even meet LEED's Gold on both of these clubhouses, which we're excited about. We've expanded each of these clubhouses by 50% capacity to meet the needs of these teams. So the partnership was strong, as everybody has stated before me, and we also want to recognize our design team that was led by the Populous Group, a major, well-known architect of sports facilities, who helped us design these from the get-go a year and a half ago, or 2.5 years ago, actually. And we also want to thank Mortensen Construction, who really came through. We were stressed out when we knew 9 months ago that we had to meet and open these clubhouse facilities for the spring training season, but they've done a remarkable job, and you'll see the fruits of their labor as we walk through each of these clubhouses. And what I'd like you to each recognize is some of the differences in the clubhouses. They're unique and they are different, and those are because of the needs of the Mariners and the Padres have different philosophies, but they are both state-of-the-art facilities that City of Peoria can be proud of for the next 20 years. So I want to thank everybody who's been a part of this project, and hopefully you recognize how nice these clubhouses are. Thank you.
Not a whole lot to add on top of what these gentlemen have already said. 9 months ago, 294 days ago, is when we knocked down the first brick on this building. And somebody said it already, but yes, there were a few anxious moments. But again, at the end of the day, you win baseball games with teamwork, and this construction project wouldn't have been a success without the teamwork that we had. So I'd just like to take a moment again and just thank the relationship that we built with the City of Peoria. Andy and his staff, especially Mr. Striffler, spent many nights with Mr. Striffler trying to figure out how we were going to get this thing done in 9 months, and it wouldn't have been possible without the City of Peoria Engineering Department. Wouldn't have been possible without Chris Calcaterra and his staff as well. It was an operating complex for the entire year, and it took a lot of coordination to make sure that we weren't impacting them and vice versa. And I think we pulled that one off pretty well. Also like to thank our design partner out of Kansas City, Populous, our local architect as well, Dick and Fritchie Design Group, and lots of Valley trade partners. We had about 50 prime subcontractors on the job. Without their efforts, it wouldn't have been possible as well. So congratulations to the City of Peoria, the Peoria Sports Complex, on a great new facility, and hopefully we can get some W's this year.